Okay, coach. We can start. First, I would like you to ask a few things about tomorrow's game. How do you feel after this match against Žalgiris and going into the second game of the double week in EuroLeague? Your first double week in EuroLeague.
Well, I feel like we competed on a very tough court. That we had a chance. I think we kind of missed an opportunity to win a game on the road. At the same time, I had some good takes from the game. We are still in an adjustment process. I can see it very clear. We are not where we should be because of different reasons, new players, some injuries, blah, 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 whatever. And we got to be fast learners. We got to be fast learners tomorrow or today, whatever you wanna say that. It's going to be another very tough game against a very aggressive team with an excellent organization, which try to play tough defense, who plays the team in offense with talented players in an unbelievable environment with a full pack arena with 20,000 people putting pressure on everyone. So we had to, as I said, we had to learn fast and be able to extend our consistency, right? We have been good for around 20 minutes. Try to make it 30 next game.
I see similar things between Partizan and Virtus. Those two clubs, very big organizations, sleeping giants in they weren't in EuroLeague for how many years? Virtus 14 years, Partizan 8.5 years. Experienced players, experienced coaches, experienced crowds, but it seems like both of those teams has to learn how to play EuroLeague basketball. Am I right?
Well, I think the organizations must learn what is EuroLeague basketball. In our case, for example, the main issue is the arena. We got to find a way to have a house, a permanent house, which might host the same crowds we always find everywhere we play, like for example in Belgrade, and this is the challenge. Then the team will get there. I mean, for sure, we have half of the players who never played EuroLeague so far. So we have to, once again, learn fast, adjust to the physicality of EuroLeague, adjust to the level of concentration required, probably make decisions in terms of who really shows the level to compete at the EuroLeague level, and count on those players more than on a say deeper roster. Then of course other players will be very useful in the Italian competition, during the season, because there will be injuries, there will be slumps, whatever. But once again, both teams have a few players who have kind of a good or decent EuroLeague experience, and those are the players who got to step up and lead, at least in this first part of the process, where the rest of the players are kind of rookies of the competition and trying to adjust.
When do you think this fast learning will be, I don't want to say over, but when will you see the results of that fast learning?
It's never over. You learn something new every day on one hand. And on the other hand, I think that in our case, when Shengelia will be back in the team, when J10 and Teodosic will go farther from their injuries, so that when they will get good shape, I think in 1 month we might start seeing at least a clear picture of what we can be, what we miss, what we have to do, what we have to improve, eventually what we have to incorporate, because we know that the race to be, I would say, to be in the group of the teams who are fighting for the playoffs. Then making it to the playoff, it's a different issue. But let's say the race to avoid to be in the last wagon, right, of the teams who play the second round with very limited hopes to make it to the playoffs is extremely tough. And we have to be ambitious, humble, but demanding with ourselves, because if we want to be in that race, in that group of teams who fight until the very end, for sure we gotta move fast and learn fast.
So that's the goal of Virtus this season.
Definitely.
Okay. One more question about Partizan. What will be the goals tomorrow? What will be the key things tomorrow if Virtus wants to win that game?
Well, I think that when you play on the road in such as a, let's say, hostile environment in a way, right? Because Serbian fans are fantastic. They are supporting their team. They're putting a lot of pressure on the game. The first step is always have a mental control and keep your concentration high. Try not to have slumps during the game. Try to be always limiting your opponent runs. We got to study, as always, strength and weaknesses of the opponent. But at this point of the competition, we are much more on getting better ourselves and trying to build up a more, every day more solid identity. And then probably the thin scouting work is about to happen probably later on during the season.
Okay, one thing, since you're in Serbia, I have to have one question about Miloš Teodosic and his playing for a national team. What do you think was the reason that he wasn't in Eurobasket? And what do you think about the moment of his retirement from national team?
Well, honestly, here I can't help you because I'm coaching another national team. I am completely outside. Of course, I empathize with Miloš as a player of mine and a player whom I love and respect. At the same time, every team has different dynamics, different insiders. So it's very hard from outside to judge. At the end of the day, the final result is what makes a decision good or bad. I mean, from the outside, like in every other situation, you can just say, of course, Coach Pesic is a very experienced one. If he made this decision, it is because he thought that was the best decision for the team. Right or wrong, I cannot say. This is mostly about Serbian federation, Serbian fans or medias or whatever. So you have to respect everybody's opinion, and of course, Miloš was hoping to make it to the European Championship. He couldn't be, and he took it in a very professional way. He took it in a very, let's say, respectful way. I never felt in our conversation, you know, rage or bad feelings about what happened.
Okay, you said that you've been in NBA for several years, and in recent months or years, coaches like Ergin Ataman and Željko Obradović said that European coaches are not actually welcomed in the NBA, but it's impossible for a European coach to be a head coach over there. You've been assistant in Toronto for several years. Do you have that same opinion? In NBA, can a European coach be a head coach, or is it really that thing that they don't want him there?
Well, first of all, I can tell you that it's impossible for a European coach who never coached in the NBA as an assistant coach to become an NBA head coach, because he ignores many things you need to know and to master from within, from the inside of the competition. Different issue is how long could take for an European top coach to get in the NBA, probably as an assistant coach, like happened to several coaches, to become considered as one of theirs. as one of 100% fully established NBA coach. That's probably a lot. And I trust that in the next future we will see one or two of those coaches who became, who started video coordinator, and then maybe the 14th coach, and then the 8th, and then the 6th, then the 3rd. There are a couple of them who are right on the footstep, knocking the door. And I'm positive then in the maybe 2-3 years, we'll see something about that. Igor Kokoshkov is a little different story, but it proves that you might stay there 20 years.
To be one of theirs.
To be one of them.
Have you ever felt that you are one of their?
No.
No?
I never felt that I was. I felt very comfortable into the organization because Toronto Raptors is a kind of international organization. It's from Canada, so many, they have a foreign president, head coach who coached in Europe many years, many foreign players historically. It's a special situation, and I felt very comfortable. I felt at home. But overall in the NBA, you are not of one of them. I mean, they are very polite, very professional, extremely serious, super organized, and many skills. But you will always have an accent. You will always be perceived from the players, especially like someone who's coming from a world where coach is extremely heavy into the let's say team day by day, which is not that heavy for sure in the NBA. So there are many differences, and well, actually we cannot go from here to teach them how they should run their business. Their business is running great. So can we say that they need European head coaches to become better when their business is the top, not only in basketball but in sport all over the world? I'm not too sure about this.
That sounds reasonable. One more thing about those differences, and it's going to be my last question. You've returned here now in Europe, being a coach. Do you have this perception that in Europe coaches are sometimes even bigger stars than the players, while in the NBA it's completely different? I mean, in the NBA, everybody wants to hear Steph Curry, not Steve Kerr. Here, everybody wants to hear a word from Coach Obradovic or Coach Messina or Coach Skariolo. Is that the right way? I mean, the players are the ones who are scoring points and winning games, right?
I agree. I think that there is a reason. Our best players, sometimes too young in the age, emigrate to the NBA. So in our competition, there are great players, but I would say that the top, I don't know how many, are playing in the NBA. So they are not here. They are the best players in the world. It's a huge difference. Right here, we might probably say that the best European coaches are here. Arguably, you might say that. At the same time, everybody wants to hear what Greg Popovich said or what Phil Jackson was saying. So I understand what you say. I wouldn't speak about stars. I think we are not stars. Players are always everywhere, the real stars. But in terms of not every coach is the same. Not every player is the same. We have to probably define it a little bit better or different.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. That would be it.